Hi everyone, it's Gail Scott here and welcome to my channel. I am a galactic channeler and a coach, and my channel is here to bring you messages of hope from some of the different collectives that I work with. I work with around 12 different energies that come through me and bring me messages of hope, mostly about light and love, and ways that you can live your life with more peace and tranquility and help you to manage your stress. So, the message that I have for you today came through actually 2 years ago from my first collective that I channeled. Their name is Alaster. And they came through with an image of your typical star system where there is a big expansive stretch of beautiful stars shining in the sky. And they told me that there are 10,000 of them, and they are masters of the universe, and they travel through the galaxies finding dark spots and bringing light to them. So, one of the messages that they brought was through a public event that I did, and it was around human beings and the direction that we live in. So, I'm just going to refer to my notes if you see me going back and forth here. So, they explained to me that humans love to know where they're going. We love to know the direction that we're heading, and we're always in a hurry. And the problem with being in a hurry to get somewhere is that it's actually in the slowing down that we find our direction of life. And the situation that we're dealing with right now with COVID and with all of these lockdowns, I really felt that this message was really important to bring to you today because it talks about four main themes: expansion, growth, time, and the experience of being human. So I'm going to take you through this journey that they took me through on this event, to explain to us why are we going through these challenging times. So the idea is that challenge is actually not good or bad. It is simply the ability to expand into the bigger version of who we are, and we need challenging experiences in order to do that. The idea is that we're not supposed to be in the dark. We're not supposed to feel trapped. We're actually supposed to have an expansive experience, one of love and hope and evolution, so that we can grow and learn. And then each time we come back to Earth, or any other incarnation that our soul chooses to come back to, we bring with that the learnings that we've had in that particular lifetime to add on to all the other learnings that we've had. So they describe the experience of being human as, imagine that you are a circle. And so your experience of learning expands and or contracts depending on whether you stay in the dark or you stay in the light. So just as the sun appears to grow larger and expand, so do we. And we can contract as well, depending on what we're going through and how we're contributing to our lives. So the planet itself has darkness. In fact, there's darkness everywhere. And so their energy that they bring, Alaster, is to show us the darkness and to help us to find more light. And with that light, we feel better. They have told me that they hope that in the next century and moving forward, that this light that is on our planet is going to expand and expand, much like the circle analogy that I gave you, and that it is only through knowing the darkness that we can actually bring in more light and expand, because the darkness is a path for us for growth. And in essence, our journey is to grow. Everything must grow, expand, be. And so that's why we're having these experiences that we're having. So the more loving thoughts that we can have, the more expansive experiences we can go through, much like the stars in the sky, we will begin to be brighter. And this is just the evolution of us as a population, as a species, but also as an evolution of our planet, of Gaia. So the problem is that many of us are living from a worldview that is very narrow-minded. We believe that what we see is our truth, and that there is not much else available to us because we can't see it. Um, but that is not actually true. So Alaster brings a sparkling light energy similar to stars in every time that they communicate with me. And also if you are listening to any of their transmissions, which are available on my Mixcloud channel. um, and so what they are doing is they are bringing in more light to us so that our consciousness can increase, so our vibration can increase, so that in essence we can have a brighter outlook. Because the worldview of most people on our planet right now is pretty clouded. In fact, they liken it to a forest fire energy, where that forest fire smoke and debris actually travels out across the country, and it makes it very difficult for people to see. And so what they're really encouraging is that we really notice where we are that negative energy, that clouded darkness, and that we begin to slowly remove that from ourselves. And what's involved with that is doing trauma work and healing and noticing your belief systems, your limited beliefs that don't work for you, and your own attitudes to life, and whether or not you come from this place of darkness or whether you come from light and possibility. And so they understand that we get frustrated a lot as a collective and as individuals. And they understand also that the growth process is a slow one, and they liken it to a candle burning. So you light a tall candle, and of course, that string takes time to burn the wax and all the way down to the bottom. And it's the same with our growth on planet Earth as human beings. We don't just suddenly have a revelation and all of a sudden things are different. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a certain duration. So, what they're suggesting is that we shift our attitude to more of a childlike attitude, more of a sense of wonder and openness and eagerness to learn, in the same way that when little kids go to kindergarten, they don't really know what they're going into. And so they have this wonder of what's it all about? What's coming? Why am I here? What am I going to experience? And so they say that that is the experience of being human. It's kind of a juicy experience, in fact. And so let go of any concerns or worries about what's coming, and be like a child, be open and available to what's going to show up, and don't have this sense of judgment about, well, it's good or it's bad. It's not. It's just the next step. And so you might ask, well, what is the next step? Where am I going? Well, they're telling us that, stop being in such a rush. Stop being in such a rush. You have this life. Imagining that you're that string that's burning down the candle. You want to enjoy it. You want to be in the moment. You want to almost slow down the way that you think, the way that you act, the things that you do. And so by paying attention to all the nuances of life, that's where the richness lies. You know, even if your experience is a perception of being negative or hard, be in that, be fully aware, and notice with curiosity, without judgment, that that's where you are, that you're having a tough time. And then in the same breath, when that switches, for it will, into something better, something more joyful, something more happy, have the same level of attention to that, almost as if you are actually looking at the flame of the candle, and slow down and really experience both sides of the equation of life, the less than easy and the more easy. Now, the thing is, because where you are right now in this moment is perfect. It's the perfect place to be because you're in the now. So how can you do that? How can you stay centered more frequently? How can you be in the moment, in the now? How can you actually enjoy it? Well, what you have to do is you have to get into your body. You have to be aware that you are an energetic being housed in this incredible physical body. Well, how do you get into your body? You have to notice the five senses that you exist with here on the planet. And then when you do that, you want to be in awe, in wonder of it. You want to be aware that this is actually quite a magnificent machine that you are housed in, that you get to travel through life in. And and so it's really important also that you take better care of that physical body that you are living in so that you keep it healthy, you keep it fit, you keep it clean, you don't allow stress in, you have ways that you can bring yourself back to a peaceful place so that you can be really centered and aware of, say, for example, you liken this journey of a candle wick burning to a series of steps on a staircase. Which step are you standing on? What's going on where you are? Now, that can be a little difficult when we think about time because at the moment, time is speeding up and we're aware that, oh my goodness, it's already almost the end of January 2021. What happened to the month of January? Well, it's about really noticing that the time that you have is right now. So, as much as it's interesting to review the past and it's exciting to think about the future, what if you could just be here right now in this moment? And even though you're living this life and you have all these experiences, and in fact, you've done this many, many times, which if you were to remember all of those times, if you are someone who believes in past life incarnations, and I happen to, you would be inundated. Your brain wouldn't be able to function if you could remember all of those lifetimes. So we don't. We have amnesia. And so here you are living in this lifetime, in this timeline, having these experiences, and you wouldn't want to remember everything else. It'd be way too confusing and too much to handle. So what we're encouraging, this group Alaster is encouraging, and I'm suggesting that you take this on, is be completely in the now. Now, yes, acknowledge what's happened in the past because memories are there. There's no doubt about that. Acknowledge that you might be frustrated about not knowing about what's coming in the future. Yes, that's true. But if you're in your body right now, this is the best experience that you can have because this is the one you're in. You're in the now. Now, if you start worrying about what's going to happen in the future, you're no longer in the now. If you start thinking about what happened in the past, you're no longer in the now. So be more in this present place without judgment about whether it feels good or it feels bad. Just be in the moment. Alaster are a wonderful collective. They are very animated, very sparkly energy. They're a very excitable group and they love to bring messages of light and love. So I really do encourage you to go to Mixcloud and check out way down at the end of all my series of channelings. They're at the very beginning actually, and there's around 35 channelings on there right now. Um, to listen to some of the events that I have done with them where they have brought messages to other people. So their intention is to bring a little light, bring some sparkly energy into your life so that you yourself will begin to shine a little brighter. And in being that brighter light, you will cut through the darkness. You will shine brighter for everybody else around you. And when you do that, your energy will shift, your vibration will raise, your body will become healthier, and you will begin to lift out of some of the darkness that you can perceive and be experiencing on the planet right now. I hope that this has brought you a little bit of hope. And if you want to know more about the work that I do, please subscribe to this channel so that you receive more updates as I do these videos. And please subscribe to my newsletter on my website, Bosie International, which is listed below, as well as following me on social media. And check out my channeling page on my website, which gives you a lot of the recordings of the actual channeling transmissions that I get from these different collectives, of which there are many. There's a huge variety. And if you want to read the transcripts, then you can do that on my blog page. And so until next time, stay in the light. Thank you for listening.